Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Covert, and you are listening and watching At Home with Symphoria. Today, we have our Assistant Concertmaster on with us, Sonya Williams. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Sonya.
It's great.
How have you been?
I've been pretty well. Yeah. It's it's interesting times, but with the kids homeschooling and it's nice that spring's been coming.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been getting outside, but yeah, we're well here.
Mm-hmm. I saw on your Facebook the other day that on your property, you went on a camping trip.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It was awesome. So it was actually our first backpacking trip. So we packed, everybody had a sleeping bag and their little sleeping pad, and we brought 2 tents. And so we carried all the stuff that we had on our backs, and we can walk back, like, I don't know, it's probably 3/4 of a mile. And we have an old beaver lake back at the edge of the property. And so we set up camp and listened to the birds. It was awesome. We disconnected, no devices. It was great. We had a campfire. It was just nice to unwind.
Are you taking reservations?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we need to bring my kids down there. Well, I think that we were just talking before we got on about how much we're looking at screens, and so it's so nice that the weather's starting to cooperate for us to get outside a little bit more and just be in the sunshine without, having a computer in front of our face.
Yeah.
So, what are you practicing right now?
I'm actually practicing. So next season, Heidi Hoffman and Rob Aller and I are playing the Beethoven's Triple Concerto. And it's been such a gift to have solely that on my stand, which is such a rare occurrence. Usually, like, this, Kelly, when we are in our season and things are cooking, you have stacks of music that you have surrounding you at all times. Like, this has got to get practiced. This can wait. It's like, so you plan out all this practicing, and so you're kind of you have a little bit of this in your mind and a little bit of this in your mind, and I enjoy that. That's how we work. But I have just this on my stand right now. It's been amazing to just focus on something. I've been listening to multiple recordings of it, and so it's been really fun.
And that's going to be great. That's on one of our casual concerts at St. Paul next season. So you guys can get really excited about hearing Sonya play that. If you could do anything else besides be a professional violinist, what do you think that would be?
Well, I think it depends on what time in my life you're asking about that. I guess the funny thing is when I was thinking of a career early on, like, middle school, high school, you start thinking about that a little bit. And I always thought it'd be really fun to be a soccer player, professional soccer player. I loved playing soccer. And I didn't practice that much, like I did with the violin. But it cracks me up to think about that now, because it's so similar to being a violinist. And like, you have to practice a lot for a lot of your life, and it's physical, and you have to be very disciplined. So that cracks me up. It's like the exact same thing I do now in some ways. So maybe I'm in the right area.
Yeah. Well, and I think when we talk about process as musicians, people who aren't musicians, I think, and even young musicians, think that it's really heady and artistic, and we're using all this creative parts of us, which is true. But when we're practicing, it's really just like do the same thing over and over and over again until your body has it inside of it. And I tell my students all the time, it's athletic, and you have to treat yourself like you're an athlete or a dancer or someone doing something really physical.
Yeah, exactly. It is exactly. It's training.
Mm-hmm.
So, some of the things you have to get slowly so that you find the right place. And it's right. It's no different from finding the right place. If you're shooting the soccer goal, you got to get the exact right spot over and over and be able to do it in the moment and under pressure. Exactly.
Exactly. We have some ladies on today. Susan Marie Ellis from Baldwinsville, and our amazing box office manager Emily Bass is on with us, and Violette Humsey. Hi, Violette. How are you? Thank you guys for being here so much. As all of you are joining, if you have questions for Sonya, be sure to put them in the comments, and we'll get to those at the end. What is your favorite guilty pleasure right now?
I think, I guess guilty pleasure to me sounds like it's either calorie related or extra time related. So, I think I have one of both. Matt has been making a lot of French recipes. He's been doing a lot of French cooking. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I think I'm eating too much.
taking up stock in butter.
Yes, and it's so good. But on the flip side, time-wise, it's been really nice I've been doing a lot more long runs, which feels luxurious to have the time to do them. You know, sometimes it gets functional when we're cranking in normal life, and you're like, I'm just going to squeeze out a half an hour run or whatever. And now I'm like, I'm going to go a little bit longer. So now that I'm saying it out loud, I guess they go together. Hopefully they'll balance each other out.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is a little fact that our audience might like to know about Sonya. Oftentimes when we have double rehearsals, we have a lunch break from 12:30 to 2. And Sonya, I know, very often runs down to the YMCA and gets like a quick workout in the 1.5 hour break, and comes back and she's all showered and clean and ready to go.
Dripping and
which is very impressive, I think. What are you listening to right now besides your kids fight? No, just
no, they're perfect all the time.
Of course.
Well, I guess a couple of things. Because of the timing and talking about the Beethoven, I've been listening to a lot of, and we talked about this earlier, I've been listening to a lot of different recordings of that, which sometimes I don't have the time to do that. And it's so interesting, and I learn a lot. You learn a lot about your own playing, I think, when you compare it with others, like, oh wow, they took time here, or they sped this up here. I didn't think of that. That's so interesting. So that's been really fun. But we've also been using music, I think, as kind of calming influence, music therapy in our house. So in the mornings I'll put on like Beethoven piano sonatas and things like that. Cello, the Bach solo cello suites.
Those are my favorite.
And for me, I love that in the background. It's very relaxing. Sometimes I feel like I can't listen to violin music in the background because I listen to it. I'm taking it apart and analyzing it, and so I pick other instruments. But yeah,
that's a lovely idea. I might try that in my house.
Yeah,
tomorrow. My kids are pretty grumpy in the morning. Maybe that would help.
That'll solve it. Music solves everything.
Of course. It kind of reminds me, this idea that you're talking about listening to many different recordings of the same thing. It's almost like back when we were in college or grad school, and really your only job was to practice your instrument and to listen to music and to like dig in really deep to the pieces that you're working on. And it really is a luxury.
It is.
Yeah. So speaking of college, Ernie Muskies is on. He always has great questions. He would like to know why you chose to go to school at Eastman.
Oh, well, it's how life works. It's like a series of coincidences that put you somewhere. But the short answer is that my private teacher in high school, went to Eastman and also studied with Zvi Zeitlin. And so I think they had a chat, and he recommended me to go check that out because he was, I think my high school teacher was the TA for Zvi Zeitlin's studio. So he knew the teaching style, and I guess he thought it would be a great fit. So that's how that all ended up. And, you know, you have your backup schools and your hopeful schools, and Eastman was my hopeful school, and it worked out. And I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Well, and it brought you to us, really. I think it's also interesting
it is.
how we end up in a place because of like one decision that was made a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And how it all works together. So, of course, we're all looking forward to being back on stage, to playing together again. What are you most looking forward to the next time we're on stage together?
I think just the sound quality that we get when we're full orchestra in Kraus Heinz, and that sound, the depth of sound, is just something that I love, and I kind of miss that. I mean, we have some nice speakers, but you can't get that depth of sound that we get, especially when you're sitting up there on stage. And so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Shui was saying on Mondays at home with Symphoria that she was listening to the WCNY broadcast that are happening on Tuesdays at 8 and rebroadcasting again Saturdays at 6. And she said she had it turned up really, really loud and her neighbor complained.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, it's like we want to be inside of the sound. And when you're on stage, you really get to experience that way. Yeah, I can't wait either. I miss it. So much.
Yeah.
So your lightning round questions today are provided by Shui Su, our principal.
All right. Thanks, Shui.
And let's see. I haven't even read them yet. So I'm excited.
Wow.
I printed them out, but I didn't read them. So these are surprises to me. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. A beach vacation or a camping trip?
Beach vacation.
See, I would have thought it would have been the other, especially with your whole camping story just now.
I love warmth, warm and sun. Oh, yes.
Sonya and I had a very long conversation last year at this time because both of our kids were doing track. And she was like, I'm not putting away my winter jacket until track season's over. Because we would sit on the stands and just freeze.
I remember that
the whole time.
Coat.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Neat or on the rocks?
Neat.
Okay. Cafe Kubal or Recess?
Oh my gosh.
How do we choose?
Well, Cafe Kubal has a delicious mocha that I get sometimes on double days when we have rehearsal in the morning and afternoon, and it feels like a treat. So I would have to do that. It's kind of bittersweet chocolate. It's not too sweet. Oh, delicious. That's what I'm looking forward to when we go back too.
Yes. And I had never had one. I love Cafe Kubal also, but I had never had a mocha. And you told me, Kelly, you really got to try it. And you got me hooked. So I don't know if I want to thank you or hit you for that.
But Recess is good too. I love our local coffee places.
I always go to Recess when we're at St. Paul's for casuals because it's right down the road. So best pizza toppings. You may choose up to 3, Shui says.
Okay. Mushrooms, but they have to be fresh. I'm going to go classic. Mushrooms, peppers, and onions.
Okay.
Vegetarian.
So are we just assuming that the cheese is like a
yes. Assuming that it's red sauce and lots of cheese. Yeah. I guess you could do extra cheese. That would be good too.
Yeah, that would be good. I'll take that.
Great question, Shui.
One more. Is a burger a sandwich?
I'm going yes.
Oh, see? I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one.
Gosh.
A burger's a burger. A sandwich is a sandwich.
Oh my gosh. Well, we never call it a sandwich, but the technical for me would be 2 pieces of bread with something in the middle, I guess. Although we never call it a sandwich, do we?
Well, no, a burger. Would it be a burger sandwich?
Well, then would a hot dog be a sandwich also? Because that's between two pieces of bread, and that's even weirder.
These are the existential questions that will keep us up tonight. I'm sure. So for everyone else who's on, if anyone else has any questions for Sonya, you can pop them in, and we'll be back to revisit the comments for all of you who are watching not in real time. But it's always fun to join us live. So you can join us live here on Monday, and we are going to have Concertmaster Peter Rovit on, and Sonya's cooking up some great lightning round questions for Peter. That's Monday at 3:30 Eastern. And don't forget that we have our rebroadcast on WCNY at 6 p.m. on Saturday. And then also save the date for May 9th, because we have a wonderful evening of music that we're planning in conjunction with WCNY that you will be able to watch on TV or listen to on your radio. It's going to be a really amazing night. So Sonya, thanks so much for hanging out with me today.
That's fun, Kelly.
And we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye.